Hello and welcome to Filter Kaapi. This is your channel where you get the accurate, reliable and fact-based news from the world of education. My name is Sudhir. Now, Advocate Alak Srivastav, who is representing the 11 students who have gone to the Supreme Court seeking postponement of both the NEET and the JEE, which are scheduled in the month of September 2020, he tweeted on Saturday. And he tweeted about how there are 4 petitions which have been filed seeking that the examinations, that these 2 big ticket entrance examinations should be held on schedule in September. And ever since, the first set of students, the 11 petitioners as well as all the students who are supporting postponement of these examinations have been very worried. The anxiety is essentially about this 4:1 battle. 4 petitions seeking exams on schedule versus 1 petition seeking a postponement of the exams. They are worried whether it will be lost even before the legal battle has begun in the Supreme Court. Now let's examine the entire case on the basis of facts, right? Like we always do here on Filter Kaapi. Now, who are these 4 petitioners? The first, of course, is the Gujarat Parents Association. We have spoken about that in an earlier video. The second set of petitioners are 4 students. All these 4 students hail from Ahmedabad in Gujarat, right? Now, both set of petitioners are also represented by the same lawyer. So, basically, the sum and substance of the 2 petitions is more or less similar, right? Now, there are 2 more parties, again representing students who impleaded themselves. They filed an intervention plea on the 13th of August after 4 p.m., right? So, they are now also involved in this particular petition. Now, I spoke to the lawyers representing both these petitioners. The first one is representing a student from Maharashtra who is appearing for NEET, and the lawyer told me that his petitioner wants the examination to be conducted and therefore wanted to intervene in this particular case. The fourth petitioner, again I spoke to his lawyer, is from Patna in Bihar. He is also giving the NEET in the month of September, and again he also wanted to intervene because he is very keen that the examination be held on schedule. Then of course there is a national testing agency, the NTA, which of course is in favor of conducting the exams on schedule. We have already done the interview with Dr. Vineet Joshi, the Director General of NTA, who said that all the standard operating procedures will be adhered to. Okay, so that's as far as the official position is concerned. So that makes it 4 plus actually 1 if you also count the NTA in favor of conduct of examinations. Now, just a while ago, earlier this morning, Alak Srivastav has put out another tweet in which he says, "I am most sincerely appearing for tomorrow's hearing," that's on Monday. "Our matter is now before the Honorable Supreme Court. Have faith, Supreme Court will definitely give us justice." And then he makes an important point. He says, "If any friend wants to file another petition through another lawyer, please go ahead. It will strengthen us." Okay, so making the plea that one more petition seeking postponement may actually strengthen the case of the students who are seeking postponement of both the JEE and NEET. I also actually happened to see a bit of another video which mentioned the NRI's case relating to the setting up of an examination center in the Gulf countries. Now, I just want to clarify that that's an absolutely separate case. Though it also pertains to the NEET, it's a separate case. It should not be confused with this particular matter, which relates essentially to the postponement or non-postponement of the examination. Now, what is likely to happen on Monday? Now, all these petitions will be bunched together by the Supreme Court Registrar. They will all be heard together because they all pertain to the same case, and they'll be heard by the same bench, which is likely to be a 3-judge bench as far as I know at this point in time. The court registrar is the one who decides the final listing in court. Now, let's now come to the operative part on how it could actually play out in the virtual court. See, I know many of you are worried, as I said, whether this number of more petitions in favor of non-postponement of examinations could actually win the day. No, what happens essentially in court, in any court for that matter, especially in high courts and the Supreme Court, is that the case is won on the basis of the strength of your legal arguments, nothing else. Emotions do not work in court. It is how good or bad your legal argument is that will decide whether you win the case or lose the case. That's what you need to remember very, very well. It does not matter how many petitions are this side and how many petitions are that side. So please bear in mind this fact. Also, the court goes by two things: the Constitution of India and the legal precedents. Okay, so that is what both sides will also talk about, that this is the constitutional position, these are the legal precedents, and also talk about the situation on the ground, which is of course the most important factor in this particular case, that because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's not as though the Supreme Court is not aware of this fact. The fact that the Supreme Court itself is still in virtual hearing, and many high courts as well, it shows that they are completely aware that a physical hearing in courts is still not completely safe. So they are completely aware of the fact that an examination where 10 lakh as far as JEE is concerned, of course spread over many days, and 16 plus lakh in the case of NEET on a single day, does carry with it its own share of risk. Of course, the other side will put its set of arguments, and I will do a separate video on what arguments are likely to be put by both sides, and I assure you that's going to be enlightening, and it's going to be an education for many of you who don't quite understand how the law of the land operates. So please do look forward to that video as well. I'll put that during the course of the day. As I said, the court takes cognizance of the material evidence that is presented inside the court, and that kind of applies to any case. It could be a murder case, it could be a criminal case, it could be a constitutional case, right? It could be a civil case. The evidence that is presented before the judges is what finally decides which way the case will go, right? That's something very important. The court does not take into account the surround sound outside the court. That is something again which you students need to remember and understand very, very well. Finally, the majority or the minority view again does not matter which side are both petitions. The court will ask questions, and many of those questions will be tough questions. They will seek answers from the government, in this case the National Testing Agency, the Education Ministry, on how they intend to ensure that the standard operating procedures will be implemented. It depends on how well the NTA is able to convince the court that they will be able to ensure that the SOPs are implemented. That will finally decide the case, right? So it all depends, as I said, on the strength of the legal arguments, and thereafter the court will decide. So as Alak Srivastava has tweeted, have faith in the Supreme Court as to which way the court will go. Please refrain from attributing motives to the judiciary. That's something which would be in very bad taste. It has happened in the past. I would request students not to get swayed by emotions and not attribute motives. Everyone is going to follow what the law of the land says, right? I hope this video has provided some clarity based on facts as to what is this case all about. Thank you very much for watching.